Good evening, everybody. How you guys all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wednesday night, 9:30. Glad you guys can join us. Seems Dina is busy, not saying
Hello.
hello, totally ignoring, you
I
know.
was I was entranced. I was watching one of my previous videos that somebody put up. Man, I'm good. Hmm.
Sorry, didn't want to distract you from yourself, apparently.
Well,
But
it's about her, but she was making it about me and I like it.
that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Yeah, it seems to be a bit of that going around.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is, it is. So we had a fun,
They want
exciting,
to play. They
yeah,
want to play. Let's play.
indeed. So we've had a pretty much fun, exciting past week. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
biggest
busy.
thing was last week, which was Pride Week in Ottawa.
Hmm.
Um, excuse me. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of things did happen there. A lot of wonderful events. A lot of great things. We did see a lot of great things. And we're actually going to be wrapping up and starting off with Pride Week. In
Yes.
particular, both the Trans March and the Pride Parade, two things that Bodine and I were able to join up and participate in. So
It was awesome.
it was incredible. So both Trans March and the Pride Parade were both led by none other than Faye Johnstone, who we both met several times. Wonderful, wonderful person. Uh,
Hmm.
Here she is getting ready in for the Pride Parade, where she drove ahead and led the entire parade. So overall, in regards to the parade, absolutely incredible experience.
It was. There were
It was
so many people there.
there was
So
so
many, and the vibe was
exactly
just,
even the Trans March, an incredible amount.
yeah.
So for the march, there so mixed reporting ranged anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 people there.
N I
Haven't
saw
seen.
I saw a report that said 2,000 to 3,000, and I went through my video and I counted the lines. There's at least 2,000 people there. You guys can all check out my live stream. I stood at the side and I was at the beginning and everybody walked by right until the end. I stood there right until the end. You can go ahead and count heads.
No, absolutely. And it's a very very large. Like I said, it was a massive. So even if it's between 1,000 and 3,000, massive turnout, excellent
Yep.
turnout, phenomenal. The Pride Parade, on the other hand,
Oh man.
whew,
It was
it
amazing.
was absolute unbelievable. So
Hello, new
thank you, Lady.
subscriber. Thank you.
No, resubscription from Lady Deathstrike. Thank you very much for three
Thank you.
months. Um, the Pride Parade was absolutely phenomenal. So the newspapers, I believe, they reported 10 to 15,000 people. And from my understanding, was in the parade alone that
Just
participated.
the parade. Yes,
Just the
just
parade.
the parade.
And to give a bit of an idea here, so I do have one particular shot. I'm going to jump ahead out of a little bit out of my order. This is a particular shot I took from when we were actually marching with Faye Johnstone as she invited people out, and it was massive. And this is around Bank Street and Gladstone, I believe, that we were turned
Yeah,
down.
look, it's like
It's
7
huge.
people, 6 people deep
Mhm.
the left side and 5 people deep on the right side.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. The entire streets were packed the
yeah.
entire way, and this route took us down from Elgin and Laurier all the way down to Gladstone, cuts across, and back up Kent Street. It's a fair distance
It
and
was.
walk.
Camilla was like, "Are we how long are we gonna be walking for?"
Yeah,
It's like, "At least another half an hour, honey."
it was. It was
Yeah,
huge,
yeah, it
and
was
there was a
massive.
massive turnout. So and many different groups and organizations, and even before we get into sort of like as we discussed, like there was a huge amount, and there was floats that we didn't even realize how many there were. Like we saw these floats as we came in because
Yeah.
Dee and I were coming in from around Laurier, and we walked in there. We saw the floats as we get in there, going, okay, well, this is gonna be a fair sized parade. And that's we didn't think too much of it.
Yeah.
And even this angle here, we're looking up and we're saying, all right, we see a lot more floats. Okay, that's cool. All right, so it's gonna be a fair amount of size. It wasn't until much later that we realized, no, this was off the screen as to
Yeah,
how
yeah.
massive
Yeah, because they were like in a line there, but I think they were on all the other streets too, like waiting to come in. Yeah,
it
it
was
was
colossal.
crazy.
So
Hmm.
to get an idea is the parade started at about 1 o'clock, and I think it wasn't until around 3 or 4 that was done, and it was like the head of the parade was done before I'd say, if not 50%, maybe more of the parade hadn't even started moving yet onto the
Yeah,
route. Like it
yeah.
was a colossal sight, and there was all sorts of organizations in there,
Can
amazing
I
organizations.
can I just say holy shit to the organizers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys, gals, everybody, you folks did an
Absolutely.
incredible job. Like the amount of vendors that were out, the amount of people that participated. That's a lot of people to manage and a lot of floats to manage. And holy amazing. Like
Oh, yeah.
hats off to all the organizers and the volunteers.
It
Amazing.
was absolutely incredible. It was unbelievable. It was massive, and you're absolutely right. The logistics of that alone,
Yeah.
like a huge hats off to the organizers on that, because I don't imagine that was easy to manage. I have an idea of what's required for those kinds, and because I've organized events before, but nothing that scale. That's just incredible to get all
Yeah.
that organized and to get going.
10,000 people
Yeah,
and like their floats and
and you're looking at
amazing.
least double that once you get into the actual crowd that was around. Like this, it's just a massive
Yeah.
event, and it was anything short. It was absolutely successful. It was
Yep.
hard not to believe, even though, even though, and I'm sorry if I make a noise there, even though there was people who attempted to counter protest.
Disrupt it.
They did. So it was spotted rather quickly ahead of time. I might have something to do with that. And it was a yeah, we were able to send notification to the marshals of the parade. Marshals of the parade were able to send people out right away to address this as quickly as possible, because these guys, it wasn't a large crowd. These were so for people who are familiar,
But there's like 20 of them there.
there's less than 20.
Is it?
Yeah, it's less than 20. Here's another shot there. There they all are. So you got Howard, you
Okay.
got Francine, Mimi, and a few others. That's literally the handful that you got there. The ones on the main stairs.
Okay.
That's it. So I count about 7, maybe.
Yeah. It's like 7, 8 of, well, I don't know who that person is, but yeah, 7 or 8. Yep.
Yeah, so it's about 7 or 8, and they're there to cause to be there and whatnot. And so rather quickly, people there. I was one of the first people there with another person. We contacted the marshals, the parade marshals, and we were able to get people located there. And it was really fascinating, as I've done defense many times before. And the other person I was speaking to, and they said it was really impressive too, because they pointed this point out, and I was kind of taken aback. We got there, we set up, we started doing some blocking and whatnot. Other people joined us as soon as they got there, and they started, getting banners and everything else. Well, I didn't realize until he pointed out, it's like we didn't have enough people to do an effective blocking. There wasn't enough in what should I call it, in the group from the Pride Parade with the marshals and whatnot. But people just started joining.
Of course.
Like
Yeah. I
it
think
was
that's
an
amazing.
it was an impressive sight. So I mean, remember, there was only about 5 marshals whatnot that were there, and I jumped in. But you'll get a sense like, no, more people jumped in to block this
Yep.
and
That's
commented.
amazing. I think it's fantastic.
Mhm. There's that guy.
Amazing.
It was. It was really incredible. Like I said, it was fun to be, um, and it was exactly where I wanted to be in regards to seeing and looking out for those, and basically stepping up and saying like, no, Pride Parade needs to have their day. They deal with this hate a lot more than
We-
I'll ever deal with it,
yeah.
and therefore I will stand in the way from it to give them one day. Well, yeah, so one day, the 1 week, or whenever they see it, so they don't have to deal with it. It was huge. So, funny stories that went with that. So I stand there most of the time, and it was interesting because again, I got to see the parade from there, about 2 hours worth, since I jumped
Yeah.
ahead of it. So I jumped ahead of it, saw over I saw the front of the parade, stood there for a long time. I got I feel like 2 or 3 hours. And again, my math might be a little bit off, but long day.
It was at least 2 hours because we left at around 3:30 from where
Yeah,
we were. So
that makes sense. So we left around 3:30. So Deana gets to the parade. She watches a couple of floats go by.
no, we
Thank you.
watched quite a bit, but there
Oh, yeah,
was
no,
such
no,
a
you're right.
big gap between the other two. I'm like, okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah, we thought it was that was it too, but it wasn't. Somehow people knew except us, which was good. So we didn't move. Eventually, more floats, and we got word back up also that there was a delay. Some of the floats weren't able to start
Yeah.
moving. Something was going wrong, and so the word did get around. Um,
Well, it was fine. We went shopping. Camilla and I
yeah.
went and bought lots of stuff and we didn't even get to hit all of the vendors because I was like, maybe we should find Joe or whatever. And then people were messaging me where you were.
Eventually, she decided to remember I
Yeah.
was around somewhere.
Well, I told everybody I'm definitely walking in the wrong direction because that's what I do. So I'm gonna try to find Joe, but I'm gonna pick the wrong way. And I did.
Oh, did you ever? So she went shopping, and that's fine. I continued to stay at my post to do what it is, and I knew we had good connections and whatnot. Eventually, the information would get back and forth. So at some point, there was what should I call it? We got information from we got the more cars coming in, and I got word like, yeah, so where are you? Because Dina's looking for you. I'm like, well, I'm at the church right now. Right? And I figured people might know I'm at that particular church because there was a bit of communication in regards to this is the church that's going to be having troubles.
Yeah.
So that
By
was
the
relayed
way,
to you.
it's really important. Ina made a good point. It's really important to tell everybody that that church had nothing to do with those people.
Yes,
That church did not want them there, asked them to leave. So it's
yes,
not. And I was wondering about that because I was like, is this the first church I'm going to start protesting? Because I'm going to be protesting churches.
yes. So the church in question, yeah. So the church had nothing to do with it. It was also a message that was echoed, that was repeated by Ariel Troster. She sent a tweet in regards to saying the church had no connection to the protesters whatsoever.
Right.
So I sent a message to somebody else to say, yeah, pass a message over to Deana and let her know that I'm at the church. I said, all right, cool. And as I'm standing there, still doing defending, dealing with convites, so I said back like, okay, so she's on her way to St. Bridget's. Now I have to explain, I'm not at St. Bridget's. The parade's nowhere near St. Bridget's.
I
St.
was
Bridget's
like,
is
why
not
is he
in,
at St. Bridget's? Like, that doesn't make any
absolutely.
sense.
As Crazy Dog Lady Oscar Jackson says, I'm at St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's Basilica. It's on Kent Street near Laurier. For those who are familiar with Ottawa, you'll know roughly where that is.
But
Uh,
St. Bridget's is on St. Patrick's Street, so that's how people get.
owned by Patrick McDonald. Absolutely. It's it's a very Irish thing when it comes to churches. So Deana goes, I don't know how far you got to the other side of
Hello, new
everything.
follower.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank
No,
you, Nick.
I wasn't trying to get to St. Bridget's Church. I
Thank
was
God.
trying to get I was just shopping. We were just going like in a direction, hoping that we would like run into you. I was looking out for your bandana. There were a couple of people who bought rainbow bandanas, but I still would have been able to pick you out. And then when I got the message, I probably missed, no, the first they said St. Bridget's, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll have to go. But we still had $29 we had to spend. So,
There
well, I
was a
had
budget.
$29 left, and Camilla found a way to spend exactly $29. Like we picked out $29 worth of stuff. So once we were all out of money, it was time to go find Joe. It didn't take long to run out of money. The stuff there was so amazing, and I promoted a lot of it on my live. I think I need to go back through the live and actually get like on it. These are all local people who are
Nice.
making really great things, like those earrings. I should have worn them tonight,
I did. Sure.
but like these are amazing Christmas gifts and stuff, and the prices were perfect. Like yeah. So
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up. I want to promote them, and maybe they should do a registry on the website if they haven't, and put everybody's businesses on the website.
I think there is. I think there's a listing
That'd
that
be
might be
cool.
on the site. We'd have to go take a look, but absolutely.
Mhm.
No, there's absolutely yeah, there was a lot of local small businesses, some larger corporate ones. I mean, I sat there and watched the parade, so I saw a lot of business coming through, a lot of unions, a lot of companies,
Banks,
banks. Yeah, a couple of
the
banks.
nonprofits, like
Absolutely. Basically everything coming up to support, and it was a huge, huge amount. And I think it was also really, really nice to see after seeing, especially this year, so much
well, I
groups.
think that's why everybody came out. I
Yeah,
think everybody's feeling it, and everybody's just like, no, we're not just going to sit here while the crazies make the most noise.
yeah. And I think it's one of those messages that came out this year, which was they tend to get a good turnout, but I think this year was a record turnout, and somebody
It
can
was.
confirm that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. So, I think 2 years ago, somebody had posted this just for the parade
Mhm.
itself. I think it was about 3 years ago, it was like 3,500 people, and then it was like 5,500, and now we're 10,000. So it almost doubled in 1 year. I'll find that post. I thought you posted that. Wasn't you that posted that?
No, no, I'm not always good
No.
with the informational. That's not true. I usually am, but I don't do all the informational.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so
I know I
it's
retweeted it.
sorry.
I know I retweeted it.
Excellent. We'll take a look then. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a peek at that later for sure. But yeah, it was a huge number. It was an absolutely fantastic turnout, and it was a great event. I have to admit. Um, then again, it's gonna be nice to see. It's gonna be sad to not see it till next year, kind of thing. Ah, but now we move on to the next story. This one has to do with another Pride Parade. So, um, because it wasn't just Ottawa having its Pride, Edmonton had it too. So they had also August 18th to 26th. I believe it's around the same range. And they had most of their activities, I think, much like Ottawa, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They don't really mention Sunday. So all sorts of great activities occurred, including they had a special guest.
Hey, Prime Minister
Monsieur,
Trudeau.
Monsieur Justin Trudeau, out in Edmonton, enjoying the sights and the sounds. And I'm like, you went to Pride Parade to
He
Edmonton.
always goes to a pride parade.
I know,
Always. He's
but there was
always
one
at a
right
pride
here
parade.
in Ottawa. Could have gone to.
Yeah, he
Just saying.
was here a couple years ago in
I know.
Ottawa.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. Why not?
He,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, yeah.
I think it's a good
I'm not allowed to
idea
give
for
him crap,
him.
even in
No,
jest,
no, because I
because
think it's a good idea that he doesn't just go to Pride Parade in Ottawa. I think it's a good idea that he goes all over Canada and meets different constituents every year, something different, or every whatever. I think it's great.
I
That's
know,
how I would do it if I was prime minister.
I know. I still like to give him a hard time, and I know I get in serious trouble if I do, be from you.
No, yeah, well, I mean, we can give him a hard time. There's other things to give him a hard time for
That's
sure.
fair. That's fair.
But
So while he was there, he met a lot of people, interacted with quite a few groups. There was quite the turnout, a lot of photo ops. But one of the things in particular that did occur while he was down there is, as I prep this, is he gave a speech. Nothing too fantastic about that, but
Who lost their minds over the speech?
somebody lost their mind over the speech, and I was not able to get that up in time. Give me a second here.
Somebody did lose their mind over the speech.
They did. They did.
That's funny.
They did lose their mind over the speech. As I'm quickly trying to fix that error. So it's Phil Primeau. So Phil Primeau, just to prepare you guys a little bit for this, he's not.
Is he related to Rob Primeau?
No relations. In fact, the spelling of the name is very, very different.
Okay.
Rob Primeau's last name is not really Primeau. It's just
okay.
He thinks it's cool, I guess.
Okay.
As opposed to, as opposed to
Rob No Nippo.
Yeah, Rob No Nippo Primeau, as opposed to Phil Primeau, who's the one we're discussing here. His name is spelled Priau. So bit of a French kind of spelling.
It's French, yeah.
So Phil has, he's not as much as I'd say as a transphobe, as much as anti-vax, Agenda 23, the lizard people are out to get you kind of great convite. So when he's decided to go, meet Justin Trudeau, it's because he's got some sort of questions. You know what? I'm going to let him explain it to you.
Okay, Trudeau just went on stage. He's talking right now. He's about 400 meters from me. I'm going to see if I can catch the end of what he's saying there. Hang with me. He's been talking for maybe a minute and a half. Oh, I'm going to get right up there.
And increasingly, we're seeing people weaponizing intolerance for political gain. Shame. In Canada, we stand up for each other's rights. We stand up for everybody's freedoms. And there is no freedom more fundamental than the freedom to be who you are and love whom you love.
How many Jews in the farm?
We need to keep stepping up and reminding people of that, even as Canada is welcoming refugees.
How many Jews in a Acuitas pharmaceutical?
We need to continue to be there to protect and stand up for everyone's rights, and that's exactly what we will always do.
How about Arbutus Pharmaceutical? What interest do you have in Arbutus Pharmaceutical, Mr. Trudeau?
Thank you for coming out to a Pride celebration, sir. Thank you for being here. You are surrounded with love. You are surrounded with appreciation.
I love it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to everyone who's out today.
That's your
Merci, Edmonton. Happy Pride.
What's your stake in Acuitas Pharmaceutical? Tell us about your stake in Acuitas Pharmaceutical, Trudeau. Is that who's donating $1,000 a plate? Tell us about Acuitas Pharmaceutical. What's your stake in Acuitas Pharmaceutical, Trudeau?
Shut up! I like that person. It took a little while, but somebody finally said it.
Oops. So
What an idiot. Like, no, first of all, know your audience. Okay. No
Hmm.
one's going to be sitting there like, yeah, what about your stakes in the whatever fucking QAnon pharmaceuticals, whatever he's talking about?
So
Nobody fucking cares, buddy.
whoever that lady is that yelled "shut up" at the end, if you guys know who it is and can send it over to us,
She's my
I'm
sister from another mister. I like
absolutely.
her.
I'm gonna send her a gift certificate for dinner for something or other because
Yeah.
goddamn, she deserves that because
That's
that was
awesome.
beautiful. That was my cut point there. I'm like, doesn't matter what he says after that. Like, no, that's pretty much it. There is some more to it,
Sums
but I
it up.
figure we don't need more than that. Because you know what, she punctuated the best. But most importantly, too, is
There
just
was
the
more to
rest.
her? Like, did
No, no,
she
no,
get
no, no, no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no, no.
because I
If
would
she
want
had
to see
more, I
that.
would have kept that in
Yeah,
because
okay.
she was just the right kind of spice.
Nice.
But no, there was more to him where he goes more into detail into to the whole. You know, it's like Trudeau's now. You know, the crazy things like Trudeau's got this farm. Sorry, he's in this pharmacy company, so now it's letting him kill people and stuff like that. I'm like, how did you
What?
get from here, where he, you know, sort of buys maybe a couple of shares, which I still doubt, but let's say he
The
did buy
people
shares.
the people he would want to kill are people who aren't taking any medicines from pharmaceuticals,
So he
right?
pretty much
So
doesn't need to do anything, and he died.
why would he kill his own voters?
Again, none
J-
of it makes sense. None of this
Like
makes any sense. They've again, this is the most loony of the. This
they're
is the
just
pharaohs.
ridiculous. They make zero fucking sense. Yeah, the pharaohs.
This is back to the goddamn pharaohs. Um,
Oh god.
so somebody's like, so Phil is a transphobe. I have no doubt. I didn't see anything in particular in regards to this video saying that, but more than likely, I do not disagree. But this particular video, this he just went straight to the lizard people or whatever he was going with this one, where it's like, yes, they're gonna take over the world. They're buying all the companies. They're gonna start killing everybody by because that's part of the agenda 2030 and insert other crazy conspiracy bullshit theory here that makes no sense and not grounded in reality. Because I'm sorry, again, I remind you, being from Ottawa, having worked in the federal government, take any contract, work for any project in the government, and you will completely lose all ability to even believe a conspiracy theory the government's capable of doing
You
anything.
no,
Guaranteed.
there's no way. There's no way. First of all, the people working in the government, they don't like each other. The culture in there is terrible. Like all I heard were my parents complaining the whole 30 years they worked as federal civil servants.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of yeah, there's no one's keeping secrets for anybody. That doesn't happen. And yeah,
Oh,
people move around so much too
yeah.
that it's like yeah.
No, absolutely. And it's one of those that's I think is also kind of ridiculous in regards to the whole thing, which is, um, I mean, I'm used to the bizarreness of, you know, it's like, oh, the government's going to do this whole thing perfectly. I'm like, God damn, they can't even do goddamn Phoenix Pay right, and yet they're going to be able to do 15-minute cities in like a year time, and it's going to get that perfect. See if they can figure out how to do a goddamn payroll that's done by a third party company first, then talk to me about doing an
Right.
entire locking down of cities and sectoring them out into a cell. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
haven't dealt with it. You don't realize how much of a clusterfuck is in there. It's never going to happen. It's going to fall apart on its own, mass. It's not going to work. But yeah, I'm sure I was going somewhere else with that too. But no, sorry, the stupidity just
Well,
keeps
I
distracting me and
mean,
drawing me in.
what can you say about Phil and his stupidity and showing up to question at a pride parade shares in some pharmaceutical company? Like nobody actually cares right now. Like everybody that's standing there wants to stand there to listen to Prime Minister Trudeau talk about their needs at this moment. Like just fuck off.
It is. I mean, it's like it's you know even like this week as we were discussing, looking at things like you went to Wellington Street this week, said hello to a few people, made no
I did.
friends, um, and but you got those guys there. You've got like Howard that was there at the Pride Parade, and you got this guy Phil, and all these guys are right there, gone in just
And
absolute sense of fucking reality.
yeah.
Like again, like
And then the
Phil.
ones that weren't there try to tell you what happened when you were there. Try to
Yeah,
tell me what was going on at the Pride Parade that I was actually at. And then I'm
yeah,
like, no, this actually happened. Oh, well, I wasn't there. Why are
yeah.
we talking about this shit then, you fucking asshole? You're wasting my time. Like, ugh, it's so exhausting. Like, that's when I'm just like, no, I'm not fucking talking to you. Like, you're just a dishonest piece of shit who just wants to say shit. You just want to talk, and like, we're not going to go anywhere. Sea lining piece of shit.
It is. I mean, it's not even sea lying because sea lying is
Asking
what.
questions or
Yeah, it's just
whatever.
like I'm just trying to be
That's
reasonable.
what
I'm
was
just asking
happening.
questions.
Yeah, why can't we find a middle ground? That's what I was getting yesterday.
Yeah,
We're all Canadians. So, you're a piece of shit Canadian, and I don't need to like you. Like, I don't need to get along with you. I don't need to fucking hear your bullshit that comes out of your mouth.
no, you're absolutely
Like,
right. No, you're absolutely right because I mean it's. I mean we you saw it yesterday. I saw it. We saw it from Phil Primo.
yeah,
We saw it. I've heard it from Howard. Like I don't need to get vaccinated because Jesus is in my veins, and to which
great.
I'm thinking, cool,
Shh.
that's awesome. I got Satan. Shall we, blood fight? I don't know. It's weird. Um, and then you got like Mebe who's firing off the most bizarre, insane stuff about clinics in Montreal cutting genitals off people. You've got
She's nuts.
you've got Carl who's convinced Antifa is starting fires in forests. You've got
Yes. And somebody stole Brian Dirkson's phone 3 weeks ago. None
but
of us are fucking there. Like,
yeah.
what is he talk? I think he
Well, hang
likes
on.
to lie.
Well, no, hang on. That event may have occurred. I'm not saying it did. I'm not saying it didn't. I have no
Somebody
idea.
stealing his phone? No, I think Brian lost his phone the same day he lost his
That may
pants.
also be true. I'm saying that the phone being gone for a reason, lost, stolen, broken, he got
This
drunk,
is
he
the
misplaced
flat
it.
tire story all over again.
Oh, the flat tire. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're great. You absolutely agreed. That's what I'm saying. The event may have
Deflated
occurred in regards
tires.
to the phone disappeared in some case.
Yeah.
How it occurred is what the whole debate is in regards to, oh, you and your team did it. I'm like, first of all, what fucking team?
What are you talking?
So I want to go into this because this is also another theme that we've gotten quite a bit this week. So we're going to a side tangent, kids, and you're all going to follow us on this. Yay! Um, Apparently, Dina and I have a team, but
Phone
more so,
Tifa. Thank you,
Antifa,
vaccines, baby. Phone Tifa.
Phone Tifa, part of the large Antifa team that we apparently are, of all
So
sorts
funny.
of unknown people.
Yeah.
We're known, but everybody else is completely unknown, running around doing all sorts of crazy, insane things. And even more bizarre, as I've been getting a sense as I've been sort of noticing and seeing, for some reason, all the accounts that these guys are having problems with, everybody's ascribing them to either be you or me or Clayton. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like there's only three people in the entire massive team, as they describe, massive team of Antifa, and it's just us three running all. I can't even keep up with it because I mean I get tired just thinking of it. Like I'm like
Whatevs, man. I mean, let us be their boogeymen.
messenger honey. I know it's
I'm
insane. Like I'm like
I'm too okay with that.
Well, I don't know. Do you have a secret team that I'm not aware about? Let's start off with that question. I think we
Well,
need
if
a
it's a
secret.
secret, I'm not going to tell you here, and I'm just not going to tell you. Sometimes I keep secrets, right? Sometimes you'll know when you'll know. I may be the person putting stickers of Daisy all over the place. I may not be the person putting stickers of Daisy all over the place.
Well,
I
we know
may
it's
be Anaid and
yeah.
I may not be, but I can tell you, Anaid and I have never been in the same room
It's
at the
true.
same time.
It's true.
So,
There is that. Um, I'd say maybe a little bit less that you are the one putting up stickers of, let's say, Donald, because somebody put a sticker of Donald onto you. So that could have been me. Could have been
could have been
Clayton.
you, could have been Clayton.
Could have been Justin Trudeau.
Well, I mean, it totally could have been, but
Oh, it's
yeah, could have been.
clear. It's clearly a Justin Trudeau.
It's just, yeah, like I am full of surprises. Nobody really knows where my power comes from. It could be an army of people. It could be because I'm Lucifer. Um,
I do think
or like there's a kind of a battle in their theology. Mimi thinks that I'm the spawn of Satan, like I'm a child of Satan, but that guy, that gentleman, the
that.
black gentleman who blasted "Try That in a Small Town" and was dancing to that, he called me Lucifer. Yeah, I clipped it from my live. I still have to put it out. I've clipped really good highlights of what has happened because yesterday was fucking bizarre. Like
Thank
some
you.
of the shit that happened was so bizarre. But anyway, I'm busy at work, so during work time, unless I'm, taking a 5-minute break having a cigarette, I'm not really tweeting or whatever. So then I come home and then I have to catch up on messages and then I have to try to do I got that one of the gays against groomer guy out, Christopher Maya.
Yeah,
He's ridiculous.
he
Guy's
is. But I
gross.
mean, there's these are a couple of people are also showing up to the city here
It's like
because
they're recycling each other. They think that, okay, well, those guys didn't know how to make it work, so we're gonna come out and we're gonna make it work. And then they like the new one, and then Apollo's on his way, and Adrian is on his way, and Melinda got here. Like, who the fuck are these people? And all of a sudden they're somebody,
yeah,
right? And like they're the new. Oh, it's ridiculous. Then you've got Dana Metcalf and Jeff Evely and all going to be descending on our fucking city.
no, you're
We need,
absolutely right. I mean,
that's why we need to get out and fucking clean this shit up right now. Fuck this. Show them we're not putting up with this. Sorry to anybody who messaged me this morning. I'm working as soon as 8 o'clock hits. I'm not really on Twitter or any of my messenger. I'm like trying to get out of the house, get to work. So I miss all these messages after. And a lot of people were actually going to come out downtown. And I don't know if they showed up or not today. And when I have a live stream, I'm not going to come out. But when I don't have a live stream, I will be going out. That means every day but Wednesdays.
Not by Fridays.
We have spaces, but I could do spaces on my way home. I could be driving.
Just remember,
Or I could be home by 9 o'clock.
yeah, just remember, I'm terrible when I'm doing it by myself. Actually, no.
Well,
I'm terrible if nobody comes and joins me out. So just for people
yeah, you guys
here.
have to join. But I don't stay out past 8:30. I don't want to be there at night with those clowns. So I just
Fair.
stay until about 8:30. When I see the lights start to go on, it's like, okay, well, I want to go to bed. I have shit to do the next morning. I wake up very early in the morning too. So it's like, yeah.
Well,
So for anybody who wants to come out, You know where I'm going to be after work tomorrow.
Fair enough. Just right now waiting for.
And tomorrow's August 31st.
Tomorrow is August 31st. So tomorrow was supposed to be the national shutdown. So this is going to be, so again, I
Right.
don't have any clips for this, but this is something we want to cover over this. The national shutdown was supposed to is a Paulo Tabors who lost his account
Oh, yeah.
once and many times. Now recovered his account. Well, he didn't recover his account. He created a new one, so he has to start all over again. Build up his following so he can start live again and just get banned again, because that'll happen. 31st was when he was supposed to do the national shutdown, but there's now a whole bunch of confusion whether it is occurring or it's not occurring. And the national shutdown is snake.
Sorry, who's wishy-washy about this?
Apollo.
Fucking idiot. He's scared. He should be. After they found out that 50,000 people, 40 to 50,000 people or whatever showed up at the Pride Parade, be fucking scared, buddy.
I don't
You're not
think,
getting a million people.
Yeah, I don't think he's scared about the amount of people that show up. The Pride. I think I'm not sure what's in his mind. This guy.
He's a loser.
So whoever was asking if that's a recorder in her hand, there you go. That's been confirmed. We're not sure if Deana's planning to do a musical number.
I'm going to learn the Titanic.
Clearly, we haven't started the first lesson yet.
Actually, we all learned it in grade 6 and 7.
I never learned a recorder.
You didn't? It was our instrument for grade 6 and grade 7. And then I played the clarinet, and wow, it was the exact same notes. So I really didn't have to learn anything again.
I did learn the clarinet. Completely forgotten it.
Oh, then you know how to play the... Yeah, me too. I've forgotten it too.
Did learn how to play the trumpet. Forgot it all now.
Isaac played the sax.
Okay.
Alto sax, which is the same as the clarinet and the recorder.
Pretty much all the wind instruments are very similar in regards to that.
You know what happened with Isaac? He played the sax, and then he used to wake up by himself. Like I was so impressed by my kid, and walk to school for 7 o'clock, 3 in the morning, 3 days a week. I had no idea. And then I found out he joined band, which was cool. I go to his first recital. He plays the saxophone they have the best band in Ottawa, by the way, Brookfield High School. So he plays the saxophone in the first song or whatever, the first piece. Then the second piece comes out. He plays the saxophone, gets up, goes to the back, and plays 11 different percussion things in one fucking piece. And I'm like, what is happening here? And he's like playing the tom-toms. And then he's like playing it looks like a xylophone, but it's like big. You knock them with, it looks like this thing that you blow in that has the different level of bamboo or whatever, but it's really big, and you hit them with pom-pom sort of sticks. Anyway, it was amazing. It was so amazing. And so, yeah. And then he was like one of their main percussionists. So
impressive.
It's very impressive. And he was on the rugby team, and he was on the wrestling team, and he was getting amazing grades. Like, man, I wish I was him. Like, I wish I did that well when I was in school. Like, yeah. So I have a power.
To make smart kids?
I didn't beat him. It's part of my superpowers that I'm not going to release to you guys either.
It's true.
But it may have something to do with mesmerizing music.
Really question why I have headphones on when she has a recorder in her hand.
Or like chimes, yeah. Tubular bells. There you go. Pan flute. Probably all of those things. I have no idea.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to grab Keith. We're going to grab you. And one of these days, we're going to make a musical stream and go with that.
That sounds good.
We'll figure out a way if it can be done.
I think jamming is a great idea, because that's how I would get most of my music out. The Pied Piper of Ottawa. Yeah. Yes.
don't even
Correct.
need to ask Keith if he's a gung ho for it. I have the feeling the answer is already yes.
Saturday is my NPC convoy thing on TikTok.
There we go.
Just
So there we
FYI,
go.
you guys, I'm doing a live stream on TikTok.
I might stalk it. So next thing is because it actually covers a little bit of regards what we're discussing. September 20th, Million Man March, plus a bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna go through quite a bit here. But the first part we're gonna go through is the Give Send Go. Or Give Send Where?
I love this.
We came across, or this came to our attention here, the Give Send Go for the Million Person March. And this is the branding. This is the branding for the 1 Million March for Children, which is managed, the website and whatnot, and this branding and logo by Dana Metcalf here, the project manager. And it's set up, it says, created by Camille L. Sheikh. Now, first things first, I gotta do a public apology. I think I put a title out there for the initial live stream, basically saying that this guy was running a fraud here, that he was trying to defraud people of donations. Fact of the matter is, I don't know who set this up. There's really no way for me to confirm that. It has his name on it, so that title was up on this live stream for about an hour before I really let my senses catch up to me, I guess. And I said, it's really about what we can confirm. When I say I know something, that just means that I've confirmed it. And I can't confirm that he set this up. And I did speak with Mr. Sheikh for over an hour on the phone here today to kind of get his side of the story here. And he says, no, it wasn't him. Somebody's running interference on this thing. And I apologize to him as well. While I was on the phone, I let him know that, hey, that was me. I got a little ahead of myself there when I see, somebody out there running fraud in the freedom movement. I mean, I was the guy who called out Marcus Ray back in the day. And when I see something like that, I don't have really any compunction about calling it out, but in the case of Marcus Ray, we had court records and stuff like that to back it up, and we don't have that this time. So we don't know who set this up. He says that somebody is using his name, and it's not him, and probably somebody who's trying to drive a wedge. I think that's something that we see a lot of these days. But just so everybody is aware, this branding, this logo, this is not us. This is not our Give, Send, Go. We had nothing to do with this. We're not soliciting any donations for this initiative. The good news is that they've set a goal of $10,000.
You know why? Because nobody fucking cares.
Zero. So at least there is that. And that's a very good point, because I just saw a question here. Lynn is asking, is the Muslim ban that started this march not involved in organizing? Now, that is the thing. I mean, like I started off saying here, it's a grassroots movement. So Camille El Sheikh, he is still out there and he's still garnering a lot of support. I think he just got banned from Twitter, actually. So that's probably a pretty good indication that he's over the target. He is he's organizing kind of like his piece, and then we're over here are organizing our piece, and it's grassroots, so there's no one person who is the dictator here. There's no one person who's telling everybody how this is going to go and what it's going to be. It's essentially more like there's a date that's been set, and there are going to be all kinds of different groups there. I anticipate there'll be Muslim groups, Christian groups, gays, perhaps LGBT, all this stuff. So it's the kind of thing that's welcoming and open to everybody who wants to protect our children from groomers and the for-profit sexual butchery of children. So that is kind of the main focus here. I don't think it should be about any particular man, be he Muslim or be he Christian or be he gay or be he straight. It's really more, it's about the kids. It's about the mission. We're on a mission here to save the kids. Everybody's going to be coming at this from a different way. So It's grassroots. It's not standard, and nobody's really giving the honors to anybody here. So.
Thank you, new follower. Hello.
Whoops, what's
Listen,
going on? Check what's going on there.
I mean, how long was it up when they found out about it, that Million Man March GiveSendGo? Because it should concern them that no money was raised. They're saying it's a good thing. But, from a marketing perspective, from somebody who, has been in business, it's not a good sign
No,
that nobody gave you any money. Even if they thought, like, because you guys thought it was legit, so everybody would think it was legit. And yeah, anyway, I just think that's hilarious.
absolutely.
I
I
don't
mean,
think I don't think anybody's trying to drive a wedge between them. I think somebody is grifting and somebody in there is not being honest.
agreed. So somebody's trying to take money there. Totally get it. I mean, I saw the page. I noticed of the many different permutations of Kamel's name, that his last name has always been consistent, that he would
Hmm.
always spell consistently, and that wasn't the correct spelling. So to me, if I was looking at that page myself, I would have been like, the name's wrong. People
Yes
in the
and
Muslim
no.
community, people in the Muslim community would probably see, no, that's not the correct spelling
No,
from what
no,
we've
they
seen. You don't
wouldn't.
think so?
No, because I do credit checks on people all the time. And the Muslim names are the ones that change the most. You will see all the variations. You'll see the SHEIKH, you'll see the CHEIKH. They'll take the H out altogether. Like when I do credit checks, I'll see all their aliases. And so, I mean, whatever, he might be sticking with one for his social media. So it's possible that if he would have done the GiveSendGo, or he was trying to get away with something and put the S, and then that way, but the thing is, I mean, get away with something. Really, this was his like little brainchild, right? He was the one who
This is,
kept
yeah.
announcing it.
So this is,
And
you're about to get back into the
yeah,
second kind of thing I want us to discuss, which is, um, so I wasn't able to quite piece that together in that particular clip, but
hi,
thank
new
you,
subscriber.
thank you, subscriber Slinny,
Thank you.
for 3 months no less.
Thank you.
The crazy thing that I have to say about what was going on there is the Million Man March. You and I sort of both knew it and saw it as Kamel's thing.
Yep.
He started, he announced it, he was the whole thing about it.
He even picked the day, and even Chris Elston wasn't happy with the day, thought that he should pick a different day. And he's
Yeah,
like, no, we decided on that day.
he picked the 20th. Elston suggested 22nd to coincide with his march.
Yes.
As you
That's a
pointed out,
Friday.
yeah, it's a Friday. As you pointed out, Fridays are not a good day for the Islam community because that's a day of prayer.
Hmm.
Hence why he wouldn't want to do it on that particular day, which I totally understand in regards to what it is.
Yeah.
So having listened to that particular V4F, and I'd rather not listen to their podcast too much because
Well,
pain.
at the
Um,
beginning of their thing, they said that they were the planning committee.
yes, and I wanted to capture that. I didn't get a quite good chance. I didn't quite get the content I wanted, but yes, that
Yeah.
entire group was the planning committee, and they even had titles.
And they're trying to
Um,
say it's organic and people just
yep.
whatever, but then they self describe
So
themselves. They've
Dana
appointed
Raven
themselves. Yeah.
is the project manager
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to
And the
the organic
website
movement.
designer. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So there's Daisy is, I don't know, Fluffer. I don't know.
I don't know what Daisy is. Daisy's the gopher. Go for this, go for that.
Yeah. So, but still, you're right. Like, I mean, it's still, as much as this thing might be organic as they say,
No, they just fucking
there's
took it.
they did take it.
They
They're like
took it.
they're attempting to take it. Um, and it's a weird thing to watch because everybody's kind of taking a chunk of it. They're trying to
Mhm.
state it as their own little organic movement, but you've got Kamel coming out with his particular movement, and I don't, these guys are coming out with their freedom convoy. We're coming together to come save the children. We have no problems with the 2S LGBTQ community, but we're just here to save the children. That's cool. Kamel's group, that ain't what they're doing. Because if you listen to a single word he said in any of his multitude of speeches, it ain't just the drag stories that he's had problems with or the
Yeah,
issues with the bathrooms. He's out for him and his entire community, like the entire 2S
the
LGBT
entire
community, has
LGBTQ2IA
to
plus
go for
community.
him. So,
100%. And Jeff just finished saying there's going to be gays coming,
mhm,
LGBTQ coming, everybody's welcome.
mhm.
And like you said, that's not what the Muslims want.
Yeah. So you get all your characters that are like the whatever version of the LGB that you think they are, or
Mhm.
even if Julie Mullet comes out, who's like, oh yeah, we need to watch for the kids about trans, which again doesn't happen. Um,
They don't
these
want,
groups, if they start talking to each other, like they'll stand together, but the minute they
yeah,
start talking to each other and realize what they are to each other, they'll realize they don't
they're not
agree.
going to realize, they don't care. They're using each other. It's
Yep.
just like the convoy. They let actual pedophiles
Mhm.
and fucking criminals and like psychopaths be part of their group. And they even said the quiet part out loud. Like Ron Clark, after that whole Winnipeg bullshit, ends up saying, we need people to come in. Well, we were going to worry about it later. What do you mean worry about it later? This fucking pedo, actual fucking pedo, dressed up as a goddamn cuddly bear. I mean, he didn't look that cuddly, but like, right?
Yeah, no, it's not Cuddly Bear because I'm sorry, I'm a guy from the internet, old ass nerd. He didn't dress up as a cuddly bear. To everybody else who will understand what I'm saying, he dressed up as Pedo Bear.
Yeah, pedo
You
bear.
look at him and you look at the costume and
Yeah,
you look at the outfit. He dressed up as Pedo Bear,
dude.
and
And
just
then
all of that is just like,
Josh
how did that
Bigger
become a
and
reality?
yeah, like crazy. And then Josh Bigger and his dumbass friends have a 14-year-old getting high with his parents. Remember that?
Oh, I
His
think I remember a
dad.
little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Josh is like airs out the grievance and then comes back and apologizes about it and then goes back. And it's just like, you guys are allowing underage children to get fucking high with you guys at the same party, at the same fucking convoy. You've got this pedophile who's dressing up as Pedo Bear and is the security person. They don't care. They just want numbers. They don't give a shit. The
Yeah.
Muslims, and this is all for show. Once they're done their little thing, they're going to be like, look how many of us came together. We're all Canadians. We all care. No, dude, you want these people dead. And you guys are okay with them wanting these people dead. You say you're fine, you like gay people and all this stuff, but you're okay with them wanting them to not exist. And that if one of their children become or is gay, then you're okay with them treating their child like a piece of shit because it's against their religion. You're okay with that. Like, none of this fucking makes sense. It infuriates the shit out of me. Like, it fucking makes me so mad.
It does.
Like, it's just because it's dumb. And I
Mhm.
have very low tolerance for stupid. I have very, very low tolerance for stupid.
Well,
It's all stupid.
from firsthand experience, I haven't seen it get better. So,
It
and
will
nor
never
should it.
get better.
Yeah, nor should it. I've had better, and in some ways, I will say even my tolerance for it has decreased
It's, I don't know.
because the stupid doesn't seem to be getting.
Yeah, it doesn't jive. They're just all bigots. This is when they say, "Oh, you just don't agree, and that's why you call me a bigot." No, you're a bigot because you're okay with these people wanting these people dead or not existing. And if you're okay with that, it means you pick their side,
Yep.
which means you're a fucking bigot.
No, you're absolutely right. So Kamal had a response.
I know. Let's watch.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Camille El Sheikh. And again, from time to time, I always have to make sure that I tell you there's misleading information from special interest groups and people trying to hijack this march. If you see this, that's a lie. Do not give them your money and do not support their website. These people are trying to hijack the movement.
He's such a slippery snake. I don't believe a fucking word he says. That guy's so slippery.
He is. He's
But they're all slippery, so it's like playing a game of Clue and finding out like who's playing Kamal. Is it the Colonel in the kitchen with the candlestick? Like, what is it? The lounge in the library.
I mean, he may not be having tried to raise the funds. That's fine. And the reason I can't really necessarily prove it, because if nobody else knew about the fund and he came out, it's like, I just saw this and this isn't us. On his own, nobody else sort of poked it out to him. All right, more than likely it wasn't him. But a bunch of other people did, so I'm like, maybe not. Not saying he did, not saying he didn't. Hard to prove. And don't ask me just to believe your word, because fuck you. You lie about everything else.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I'm not saying you did it. I'm just saying...
I stood right in front of him while he lied about bullshit that happens in schools and making like all this fuck. I know this woman. I know this woman.
No,
yeah,
don't.
like, okay. Is it Brianna from Calgary or Mustafa from Calgary or whatever? Like, like fuck off.
Yeah, no. He's gonna spout the crazy shit. I mean, he's right now trying to cover his ass. He's gonna try to get his numbers, and he's gonna try to get his people for September 20th. They're still quite convinced it's gonna be 1 million people coming to this march.
This one guy tried to convince me. I've been looking at all of their posts, and they're literally getting between 7 and like 39 likes. It's pathetic. It's all got to be the same people. I mean,
kind of circle liking.
Circle liking. Yep.
Yeah, I said it.
Circle liking.
But I mean, when looking at an event like this, I mean, I'm thinking back to like, June 9th, Chris Elston. It's participants from different sort of things all trying to get together. This particular event is no different than that in regards to what's going on there. So we've got Everly and Raven and whoever the fuck Scott is. They see participating in the freedom people coming together to save the children, spitting out rhetoric that they don't have any understanding what the hell they're saying. They're just repeating what they've been told. Children in danger. No children in danger. We must save them. There's nothing to save. From crazy clinics causing mutilation.
And ideology.
An ideology
it's going to turn them trans. Because
basically
all this great ideology that's been pumped through our entire lives hasn't worked on the trans people. So I don't know how the trans ideology is going to start working on the straight people.
So they're pretty much they're motivated by Francine, Mimi, because it's the crazy stuff coming from her.
Do you know what looks like Francine? Like, you know how she wears that crochet hat?
Yes.
This is
not on the Twitch. Not on the Twitch. Not on the Twitch.
It's just a crochet. It's crochet.
Last
It
time I allowed
looks
you
like
to.
Francine.
Last time I let you show
I'm
anything
calling
on the
this
screen
Mimi.
from the Pride. All right, you can probably
I
call it
found a
Mimi.
name for I found a name for it. It's Mimi.
Do not get us. Do not let us lose the Twitch.
It's little Mimi.
Anywho,
All I know how to do is masturbate.
do it. I'll let you do it.
Where is it?
Because all they know is how to masturbate.
Crap.
So
That
they're
is
listening. So back to the Freedom Convoy. They're just doing literally repeated rhetoric from the right wing stuff that they've been reading and listening to everywhere. They're echoing it back and forth with each other. It is absolutely.
yeah,
It's
they're
yeah,
nuts.
they're nuts. You're gonna have Kamal coming out. He's gonna be coming out with just his group, which is, so let's be honest here, the shit you and I have listened to him say, it is not limited to just saving the children. He's saying saving the children, but it's not saving the children from like the indoctrination to turn them trans. No, he's like, we had to save him from the entire idea of 2S
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus. He is like flat out saying that. He said it. He's not afraid to say it.
And not just him, that other dude that was at the OCDSB. And then you had those the Muslim women who were ripping down the pride flag and letting their kids stomp all over it. And then
Yep.
those young
So, yeah.
asshole guys that like walked into my megaphone and like tried picking fights and stuff. They're going to be there on the 20th. Like these are the types of people that are going to be there with Kamal. They're like the vilest, most disgusting pieces of shit on this planet.
Absolutely. So you're gonna have those for sure. So he's gonna have those. You've now got, and there's about 3 other groups I want to also bring up. You're also gonna have Adrian Thomas. Now, for those, we've already discussed this a little bit more. I don't have any videos for Adrian Thomas nor pictures because that's also going to challenge the Twitch moderation quite a bit. He's going to try to fly his Thunderbird flag on the hill. Those
I'm
who
bringing
don't
a flamethrower.
No, let me finish this because this gets really, really weird by the end of this explanation. So he's going to be trying to fly the Thunderbird. Those who know what I'm talking about, explanation. For those who don't, may need to do a little research. It does, just to be short, it does coincide with Germany and the 30s and 40s. We'll leave it at that.
Snotzy.
Very much so. We're also going to have Apollo coming down. Now, Apollo's just been kicked off of TikTok, coming back. His highlights include coming down the 20th, talking about how it's going to be wartime by the time he
He's
gets
coming
there.
tomorrow.
He
I
says
was
he's
told
coming tomorrow. Yeah.
I was told he's coming tomorrow.
So he may be coming tomorrow. He may not be here till the 20th.
He's not going to make it till the 20th when I'm done with him.
Anything's possible at this point. Either way, he's talking about his highlight talking points are he is coming here for war, and one of his highlight things is that he wants to, he wants to organize with people to set up hunting parties if the politicians aren't coming out to talk to them. Qu'est-ce que fuck? Dangerous fucking language.
He's a psycho fucking nut.
Yes.
He killed a baby. He's a piece of shit.
Yes, and it's also so it's part of the whole global walkout as Irish mythologies.
He canceled the August 31st global walkout.
Yeah.
That poor woman. I mean, Melinda. She's even like posting. She's like, can anybody tell me who's going to be doing this? And then one person said, I'm going to do it for as long as I can. In other words, not committed. Not committed.
No. So now the third group, and I didn't get a chance to find this, also because I got distracted trying to do other stuff. There is a third group.
Fault.
Or another group, but there's like a 5th group coming in here, and it has nothing to do with any of the things going on. So this is a bunch of indigenous groups coming to on September 20th to the Hill. And
Do you know why?
yes, I got a flyer here. I don't have an ability to throw it up here. They'll be here. They'll be here at 9:30 a.m. September 20th, and they're protesting Bill C-53. Now, these are Indigenous leaders and First Nations in opposition to passing Bill C-53. I don't have the full thing in regards to the grievances and the concerns, but I understand it has to do with recognitions of Métis communities and how they're declaring it. They have problems with it. I'd love to understand a little bit more, but I've from what I've understood from their concerns and what they're protesting, and from the other information, it's a legitimate protest. It has nothing to do with any of these guys. Like nothing to do with the state of children, nothing to do with any of this bizarreness. They're just coming there to protest this particular bill. So this is where I think it gets kind of interesting, because if these guys are there long enough, or these people are there long enough to protest, like they're starting at 9:30, I don't know what time it's running till. These are First Nations people who are going to be there when Adrian Thomas gets to the Hill. Like, yes, I'm here to join you, because Adrian Thomas also said he's coming here to join them for the C-53 bill, and he plans to fly the Thunderbird with them.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. He's going to try flying the flag, Parliament Hill, again, may occur, in front of Indigenous people, Indigenous leaders no less. And from my understanding, from what I've heard from Indigenous people, he hasn't had the authority from the elders to do what he's trying to do. So I don't feel it's going to go his way.
We shall see.
Feel he may. So that's the hope. I'm hoping that a large group of Indigenous people will be able to say, like, no, that's wrong. Get the fuck out.
Let's see if they even show up. Like, if you already have Apollo canceling because he's a loser and just talks the big talk and realizes that nobody's following him.
Like the Chiefs of Ontario to protest against Bill C-53, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to show up for that particular event. Again, unrelated to the rest of it. Apollo,
yeah, but they're not going to want to combine other causes in their, like, they want their thing focused. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with the convoy. Excuse me. The problem with the convoy shit is that they're just trying to throw everything in there, right? So
they
that
throw everything in there, they dilute it,
people,
and then it has no
focused. Yeah.
They dilute everything that's in there, and then when you dilute your causes into one big pot, you got nothing.
Yeah. And then you don't even know what your causes are. You just know that you're mad at Trudeau, so it's his fault. So if somebody's telling you something about whatever, like, yeah, I had the conversation yesterday and they're like, oh, they're bringing back the mandates in schools. I'm like, dude, my kid's going back to school in less than a week. Like, there's been no announcements of mandates. Oh, there's going to be lockdowns. What are you talking about? I'll send you the links. Like, name me a mandate. I'll send you the links. No, you should be able to name me a fucking mandate. Like, it's not that hard. Like, what is coming back?
Yeah, there's for some reason there's a lot of this is one of the things we're hearing a lot of things lately in regards to people saying, like, and I know you've heard it, I've heard it myself, and I'm sure many of you guys can also do it too. Point out too. They're saying, like, there's mandates coming this fall, there's rules coming in, there's gonna be a lot of new lockdowns coming in. It's coming. It's all coming here. Like based on what? Like, oh,
didn't you hear there's a new virus? No, it's the same fucking virus. It's mutated. We have a vaccine for it now, you dumb fuck. There's no need to lock down. We have a vaccine for it. Like, what are they talking about?
You just don't take the boosters.
We locked down because we didn't have a goddamn way out of it.
Yeah.
When the vaccines happened and everybody was at the point where we were at the 90 immunized 90% or close to it anyways. I think we were at 83. It was safe then. People could start doing shit again. Now people can
Yeah, that's true.
it's like, anyway, I'm preaching to people who know everything about this already.
It's true. Let's move forward to progress. I'm sorry, did I say progress? I meant Ontario, the opposite. Because our dear education minister decided to speak about the kids. Ontario is now jumping into the same regressive bullshit that we've seen in New Brunswick, we've seen in Saskatchewan, and we're seeing in pretty much any conservative-run province. And there's many states in the States. This particular new thing, which is let's tell parents their kid wants to transition, whether it's a safe idea or not. Now, Ontario is taking the let's dip our toe into the water in regards to this particular issue, see if we can actually go with it. No. And we're going to go into the video first, just before we get to the discussion, because this shit, how can I put it? This shit is bullshit, and what the hell?
What the hell? Here, I'll fill the quiet.
Fill the quiet for me, as for some reason I am horrible in getting all the videos up today. That's not the quiet I was expecting.
I'm tired.
I know. Sorry, I'll get that out.
I've had a very busy week. So have you. But Peterborough was fun. We forgot to talk about Peterborough. I went to Peterborough for drag story time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So before we get into that, as I'm trying to catch up in regards to everything else, how did Peterborough go?
Peterborough was great. I think they realized that Peterborough is untouchable. Let's hope. And there was a small group of us there. There was a smaller group of them. There was one guy that was there. Yeah. And then there was a couple of women who were, religious or whatever, and then tried to, quietly walk around from person to person to be like, I just don't understand. God made a woman and a man and only two genders. I said, no, that's what it says in the Bible. No, it's not what it says in the Bible, actually. The Bible actually accounts for science, and the Bible actually accounts for variation and spectrum. So, unfortunately,
the Bible just doesn't really go too specific on any of them.
Yeah,
thank you, Bajolin, for 1 month tier.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, whatever, but that's what they were doing. The one guy was just walking around being all, I don't know, just a bit loopy, and I just trash talked him a little bit. So did somebody else, and then he left eventually, and so did we. And then I went to Red Lobster with a couple of friends. I haven't been to Red Lobster since I think my son was about 9, Camilla's age. And we ended up sitting in a booth that Isaac and I sat in because they're all designed the same. It's kind of cool. I had all these memories flooding back. I'd only been to Red Lobster the one time with my son because I don't usually go out for seafood. Unless I'm in PEI, I've done that, or Victoria, because you're just right on the water. But, yeah.
Oh.
So it was good. Betty Baker looked amazing. Betty Baker looked fabulous. And Betty Baker is doing a show on September 4th, and it's Pride Month next month in Peterborough. FYI.
She's doing the stories. I'm not going to be able. I don't think I'll be available for September.
And I'm not sure if it's at the library. I can't remember. I'll have to look back at my live stream. But
she doing a show, or she doing drag story? She doing drag story time.
She has 2 events coming up. It was cute. I don't know who it was that was reminding her what to tell everybody. It was very adorable. Where is it? Oh, it's going to be at, and she mentioned where everything was. But I can't remember the details. I have to look back. Maybe we should post it. Or it's on their website. Like it could be on the Pride, Peterborough Pride website. So.
Yeah, no, we'll take a peek and see.
I don't know if it's a month. Maybe it's a week. But what do you mean another? Ottawa's different than Peterborough. They're different cities. Different cities do their own things in their own time.
Fair enough. All right, so back to Liche. The Lich. Liche, the Lich, many things. Let's listen to what he's saying.
All right.
In the classroom, and so we've got new expectations, binding expectations on school boards. We have new supports in the classroom. We have a modern curriculum with new financial literacy resources, a new literacy curriculum that follows the precise advice of the Ontario Human Rights Commission when it comes to reverting to phonics and the inclusion of cursive writing and evidence-based instruction. So we're looking forward to building capacity and getting these kids back on track.
Will Ontario bring in policies like we've seen in New Brunswick and now Saskatchewan to require that parents be informed if their children change gender identity at school? And I would love to hear from Patricia about this as well.
Look, I think it's important to note that every school must be safe for every child. I think we understand, though, that parents, must be fully involved and fully aware of what's happening in the life of their children. I mean, often there are health implications, and I think we have to respect the rights of parents, recognizing that these can be life-changing decisions. And I think parents want to be involved so that they can support their kids. And I think that's a really important principle.
Is that you are going to require it then, like with legislation?
We're simply making clear as a province that we believe parents should be fully involved, fully aware of what's happening to their children. And these are significant changes, and they have a right to know. And so we would expect school boards to be transparent with parents, as we always have.
How do you respond to the criticism we've heard from, that it puts some LGBTQ kids at risk, where maybe they're not, their home environment's not a safe place for them to be out or to have a different gender identity?
No, for sure. I mean, this is why I led with the recognition that safety must prevail, the safety of the child, both at home and in school. For there are exceptional circumstances where there can be situations of potential harm to a child. Educators are well versed on exactly what to do and who to turn to if they believe that child may be harmed for whatever reason or whatever circumstance. We will always safeguard the right of children to be safe. We'll always ensure that that is the case. Educators do amazing work to recognize the signs and the changes in behavior and energy and attitude. They really do wear many hats, and we're grateful for what they do. But there's a well-established protocol to ensure the safety of children, and I have every confidence that what has been the case for many years will continue to be, that they can leverage those that protocol if they believe something potentially could put the child at risk. But as I say, as an overarching value system, I really do believe that are fully engaged, and school boards need to be transparent with parents. I mean, they are the legal guardians. They love their kids. They want to be aware of what's happening in the life of their children in their schools. And I think that is really important that they know.
So your position is that they should, but there's not a requirement to report or anything like that, any directive like that from the Ministry of Education?
School boards will have policies. I'm just affirming to you the province's position on the matter quite clearly, which is parents have a right to know, and we will respect parental rights. We think boards must do the same.
So I have something to tell anybody who thinks that parents have the right to know if their children are making these decisions, because these have lifelong implications and there could be health implications. You know what else has lifelong implications and health implications? Having sex. And so does that mean that the teacher, when she or he finds out that this 14-year-old child is having sex with her boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, 14 years old, that the parents should find out? Is it now the teacher's responsibility to phone the parent and say, I just want you to know that your child is having sex? And I need you to know this because it has health implications and possibly life-changing implications. If the child gets STDs, they're old enough to have sex now with their own age or whatever. So the child could get STDs. The child could get pregnant. The child could any of those things. So now does that mean that because we need to start informing parents about these things that our children may or may not be doing because they have lifelong health implications or implications for a life, we need to start telling them everything?
Do you want the teachers to be a teacher to
Yeah,
motivate, help, mold, shape, or do you want your teachers to be prison fucking guards?
it's ridiculous. I was just reading at the same time as I was saying something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And we all know, like, of all people too, like, as if there are a section of gay people who are siding with this when they knew how difficult it was and that it needed to be on their own terms to come out to their own parents, right? Like, and it just baffles my mind that there are people, they're in support of this because they want the parents to discipline it out of the child, to not be trans or to not whatever. That's what I think anyway. Like, there could be no other explanation to me.
So that comic, and for those who've seen it, there's a comic meme that I keep thinking of when every time I think of like the groomers, gays against groomers, or any particular movement that's
They're
LGB without the
vile.
T.
They're disgusting to me.
It's as I find it difficult to listen to for the same reasons as you do, Dina, which is I think of Martin Boyce and that particular event when we sat there this
Yeah.
summer and listened to
Accounts
his
of,
accounts of
yeah.
the Stonewall riots and everybody that was involved for that particular event. It was not just gay men. It was not just lesbian women. It
No.
was not bisexuals. It was not this. It was not. It was the entire group and how that how that group coalesced, right from including drag queens, including and he had a whole thing in regards to the whole the entire range of the whole thing. It was that entire group that just said no. We're all repressed, all trying to exist. You're coming in here and trying to push us down and beat us down. This is the last time.
Yeah. Well, there's still one remaining survivor, quote unquote, that I argued with a little bit today. And he's trying to tell a different story, I guess, than what Martin is telling.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to say that there's minutes of when they planned the first Pride March, and that there were no trans people involved. It was just a lesbian and two gays or something like that. I don't remember. I'll have to reread his thing. But he was like, and we have minutes. I'm like, great. I'd love to read those minutes. And I'd also love to know how those minutes were stored since then. And then instead of getting an answer, I got another troll asshole who thinks I'm getting paid by Justin Trudeau. So that just tells us where we're at. Trying to turn it around and say, no, I want to know from you why you think trans people were the ones who started it. And I'm like, who said that? Like, and they keep using Marsha. They keep using Marsha's name. And I never brought up Marsha. Like, it's just ridiculous. So instead of like letting me see these facts that I was made aware of, now they've moved the goalpost. So, I mean, Fred may very well have been there and he may very well have whatever, But they seem to have a really big problem with the drag queens and the trans people. Like I had to ask, you guys keep bringing this person up and you keep bringing this person up with like this resentment. There's a tone to your posts. Like, did this person do something to you? Like, yeah, it's there. The bigotry is huge. But Martin addressed that when he was talking to us about it. He said that everybody was off in their cliques, right? Like you had, you know, so
Yeah. Like
they're not a
the
monolith.
drags were over there, the
Yeah.
lesbians over there, the gays were over
Yes.
there. Like he had the like everybody had their sort of like every person was in their section of the bar.
Right.
And that was exactly the sort of the phrasing he had for it, which was
right.
interesting to listen to. Where it's even within there, they were sort of running off to groups, and it wasn't until they, you know, the way I took it to heart when I was listening to him is, it wasn't until that particular night where they decided, no, we're not individual groups tonight. This is all of us.
Mm-hmm.
This is all of us coming up together, and we're like, no, we've had enough. Just listen to you beat one of us again. Enough. It's huge. It's powerful.
Yep. But they want to leave out the part that the first person who pushed back against the cop was the one that he threw into the paddy wagon. And the one that he threw into the paddy wagon was a drag queen. Right? Or was drag or trans?
It was a drag queen, from
a drag
what
queen.
I recall.
Yeah. Yes, me too. Latina or something. Latinx.
Latina drag queen, yeah. That's
right.
what I recall.
And it was that drag queen that made the first move. Right? Yeah. She fucking hoofed him with her foot, kicked him flat on his ass. People saw someone standing up to the cop and him falling on his fucking ass and everybody laughing at this cop. That is what sparked it. So you can't cancel drag queens and you can't cancel trans people because you're, like, fuck off with that. It just drives me nuts. And then they start using language like, straight savior. I'm not trying to save you, asshole. I don't give a flying fuck about you. You're a bigot. Like, no, dude, I'm not here for you. You're happy. You've got all the rights you need. You've just demonstrated that to me. Even though you're fighting on the Hill for rights, you say you don't have your freedom, but you're good where you're at. Like, you're confusing. Your message is dumb. But yeah, like, ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. Oh, TikTok scientist, I love you too. Keith. Oh.
It's true. Yeah, it's Keith. It's not TikTok scientist.
I know, but he said, TikTok scientist, I love you.
We do love him. And there's always love back. Anyways, that's up for us for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We leave you with our last video. And again...
Oh, wait. What? Ottawa Defense Collective.
You're absolutely right.
You can meet us there. There's the Ottawa Activism Discord.
There is the Ottawa Activism Discord. By all means, come join us there. We're always discussing things. And aside from, as well as the Ottawa Defense Collective, we're also discussing things in Ottawa activism in regards to even things like Deana planning out to go see people. Come join us in there. We're discussing there, as well as other events coming up all the time. Come participate. It's always good to see and even just discuss things going around. As well, don't forget to join us Friday night. Even Deana will come crawling from Parliament Hill even if she joins us via her car.
And I'll be going live tomorrow at around probably 5 o'clock on my Facebook while I'm at the Hill. But it's more, it's different when you're there in person, people. So if you're in Ottawa,
by all means,
go to the bistro for a drink.
There you go. See, if you go out, you can go drinking with Deana.
Yes.
Having done that last weekend, it's interesting. I will leave it at that.
I don't drink very much. Doesn't take much.
We didn't even cover that. You know what? That right there, Deana and I going drinking last Saturday is a Friday Night Space story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's going to be totally that. So Till then, thank you everybody for coming out, and we shall leave you with one last video.
Thank you, Fancy Pants, for your video.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard not to get caught up now.
I love you! I love that man! I love that man so much! I love Trudeau! I love Trudeau! Trudeau is my hero, Matt! I love Trudeau! Doing the best job! Better than y'all ever could!
You're doing an awesome job!
He certainly is!